So the first thing I was thinking as I've gone through, your music for the past, I'd say, few years, is when do you think you started getting the inkling that you needed to get happy?
That I needed to get happy?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that I found a part where I was like, I need to get happy. Mm-hmm. I was just in a really dark place with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And it was no longer an experimenting thing for me. It was, I can't go without it. Uh-huh. It got really bad. And every time I tried to stop doing it on my own, I couldn't, and that was for like 10 years straight, because I just couldn't do it. So it was when I finally went and got help for it, and I started noticing that all the symptoms of my depression and anxiety and sadness in the world were starting to slip away, and I was starting to enjoy little things in life. Then every more day I stayed sober, I started to enjoy life more and more and more and more. And then I was like, holy shit, life is really good. And it's quite amazing if I just let it be and I don't get in the way of it. So it wasn't necessarily that I tried to find happiness. As happiness found me once I stopped destroying myself. And then I really embraced it, like I embraced the darkness before. And I started writing about how colorful the world can be, just like I wrote about the blues and grays back in the past. And it was so amazing. Now it takes a lot for me to get in a bad mood. Like, it takes a lot for me to get upset.
So was it a fight back then? Was it a mother friggin' fight that you had to... Because you said for 10 years you were...
More than 10, but it wasn't necessarily a fight. It was just that's who I just was, and I just over-medicated myself and drank.
So you didn't dislike yourself, per se?
I mean, I didn't at first, but once I started noticing I was ruining relationships and I couldn't ever get happy, and I always ended up with the same negative people in my life and the same negative situations, it was so weird, because you find yourself complaining about life because it's so easy to be in a bad mood. Right. It's so easy to be in a bad mood, and it's so easy to be unhappy. It's so easy to write sad songs.
Right.
But what's really amazing is when you find out that Santa Claus is real, and so is the Easter Bunny, and so are innocence, and so are romance, and so is taking a walk with someone and just holding their hand and talking to them as the stars are at night, and you're really enjoying it and embracing it. It's a pure feeling, and I really believe that we're on earth to be happy, joyous, and free. It's just us as humans fuck it up with all our drama. And I was stuck in that whole drama thing. So, that's where I was.
And so does the darkness try to creep in every day, or does it not? Now, it still exists out there, right?
Oh, yeah.
But does it feel like you need to, get after it?
Have an exorcism every day for it? No. No, I mean, of course I still wake up going, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. It's just now I know it's just my mind playing tricks on me. And you just get outside. If I were to sit in this bus all day and lay in my bunk, hell yeah, I'd be sad.
Right.
I have to get out, like I got out today and walked 3 miles and went and got a haircut, had lunch by myself and sat in the sun and looked at some art pieces and came back here and heard I had an interview, and I was like, I am grateful. Why? Because someone actually wants to talk to me. Because there could be where nobody shows up to your shows.
Yeah, right.
Could be nobody gives a damn about your music.
Right.
But people actually like it. So I choose to live in gratitude instead of what can I get out of the world. It's what can I see and what miracles can I find today. I choose to live in that area, And of course there's still darkness. I mean, look at the world around us. Yeah. But I choose to not feed into that, and I choose to do the next right thing. And by doing the next right thing in every aspect of my life, it always seems to open up and show me light.
So did somebody have to give you technique to find gratitude and to stay in a gracious place?
Hell yeah. 90 days in a freaking rehab will do it for you, But it was really when I let go and started believing in a higher power, and when I started realizing that there is something bigger out there, and there is something, and that I truly believe everything happens for a reason, and you set your dominoes up the way you set your dominoes up, and they fall how you let them fall, or they can stand perfectly still. Yeah. Just like someone had to teach me how to do drugs, someone tried to teach me how to get sober. And then once I got sober, you can either be a mean, sober guy that hates life because he can't drink and use anymore, or you can be a guy that's like, wow, I'm going to go out there every day and do what I can to bring the good out, you know, whether or not that's listening to someone else or just being silent and still and being comfortable in that.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm teaching my 2-year-old how to sleep in his own bed right now, right?
Right.
That little 2-year-old, he cried the first night, all fucking night, right? Screaming for mommy. Mom, I had to text mommy in the other room saying, don't you dare come in here. You know, the next night it was only about 4 hours. The next night it was about 2 hours. Next night it was about 1 hour. And now he's just getting to the point where he's comfortable in his own stillness. You know, I had to redo that for myself. You know, I always needed something to fuel that that static electricity in my brain. But now I'm okay with just sitting in the sun for lunch by myself for 2 hours, not saying a thing, maybe listening to Dave Brubeck jazz and just going, this is nice. You know? I truly believe that. Sometimes I got to turn the phone off, turn all the static off, and just be comfortable in myself. Because until I can get this right, I can't really enjoy life.
Right.
You know?
Is that where people are, though? Do they get stuck in that place and then hopelessness takes over, if not cynicism? And all of a sudden, because I'm sure you look out every night and you can see a face that goes, they're just, I'll say lost, but that may not be the right word. But.
They just haven't found their. I mean, I can't speak for other people, but for me, it was definitely. Yeah. It's so easy to sit in your own shit.
Yeah.
It is so easy to sit in your own shit, but the longer you do it, the more you stink, you know?
Yeah.
And you start attracting negative people. I mean, I can't tell you how much the spiral of negativity can hit you. In the morning, your Uber driver's late. Ah, there it is. Darn it. You get in and the Uber driver smells bad. Oh, God, this is going to suck. You're late to the airport, but you still make your flight. But you're just pissed because that fucking Uber driver on the way over. And then your fucking biscuit's cold. Oh, God, I'm going to let that fuck with me. And then you get a middle seat. Oh, fuck. You know? Or then you get off the plane and you make it to your city, but you're tired. And, oh, my God, you're out of cigarettes. Oh, yeah. These little things can stack up, and you can choose to let them push your dominoes down, or you can go, hey, I got the solution. Yeah. I ended up at the airport on time. I didn't have to drive. I got there safely. I'm alive. I met this sweet person that was next to me. You know what I'm saying? And then I landed on time, and now I'm going to my hotel, and then I'm going to, at the end of the night, I'm going to say thank you for another day alive.
Yeah.
Because you can choose to be pissed at the Uber driver and the biscuit that was cold, or you can look at the person next to you that might be sitting there and think, wow, and get to know them, or choose the fact that you can just sit in stillness again and get to your flight okay, and you're alive. You know?
So when you write a song now, is it different than when you wrote it 15 and more years ago?
Yeah.
That you now, is it a point that you want to encourage and enlighten?
No.
Is that a fair question?
It's a craft now. It's like if I was a construction guy, or I build a house the correct way. I don't build it by just closing my eyes, smoking a big joint, and going, all right, I start nailing shit together. There were some cool houses built when I was high, you know? But they only were right for one neighborhood. You know, I like to build songs these days that'll touch everyone, even the people in the dark neighborhoods, you know? So I find a subject, I study the subject, I write it, and I find a really beautiful melody that's a hook. And then I find the overall thesis and put it in the chorus and make it hooky, make it simple, and then bring them home with a bridge that'll make them think about everything I just sang, and then hit them with the chorus again and do it in under 3 minutes and 30 seconds and make it memorable. Music is a memory. You're implanting memories into people's heads.
Right.
You know, just like when you smell burning leaves. You think about maybe Christmas, or you think about when your grandpa had you when you were a kid and was out back. You know, that's what music does for you. Now, what kind of memory do you want to make for people? Because if you make a really depressing one, people are probably going to go, I don't need that in my life. And you're only going to sell to this neighborhood over here. But if you make a positive reinforcement where you touch on the negative and then show how you got out of it, it's more inspirational, it's more motivational.
But when you were a kid, don't you think a lot of the stuff, I don't even know what you're listening to.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the stuff in the, I'll say, early 90s through maybe something, most of the 90s, there's a lot of depressing stuff out there that was super huge.
I grew up, you're making a good point. Me and Paul here, we grew up on the Smiths and the Cure.
Yeah.
Two of the most depressing bands in the world. But they were romantic. That's the difference about it. They weren't just the saddest chords in the world with the saddest lyrics. They were the most beautiful music that if you took the lyrics out, you could go make out with your girlfriend and think that you just had a magic scene in a movie. And then they put these beautiful words in it that you just connect with. Some of them really fucking sad. Some of them really sad. But there's something so romantic about it. It's like watching a beautiful love story, you know, like The Notebook. You ever seen The Notebook?
Oh, yeah.
You watch The Notebook. That's a sad fucking movie.
Right.
But there's something bigger than it being just sad.
Right.
There's a story there. It's real. It's life. The Cure, Peter Gabriel, The Smiths, top 3 bands, top 3 people of my life.
Yeah.
And they're the saddest, most beautiful songwriters ever, you know. Could you imagine Morrissey if he found inner peace and bliss and wanted to go write about it? I bet it would be outstanding. You know? Or Robert Smith, if he had just as much passion about how beautiful life is as he was singing to Elise in A Letter to Elise, or Love Song, however far away, I will always love you. That's a positive song.
Right.
You know, but it's just, there's something so more romantic about it. That's what I got hooked on.
Yeah.
You know? Please, please, please let me get what I want this time. Come on, that's the name of a song.
Right.
You know? But it's gorgeous, you know? It's gorgeous.
So do you see a trajectory from your lyrics to where you are now? Do you see that trajectory of how you were searching in that path? And do you go back and see those lyrics and go, that's just where I was and that's how I got here?
Yeah.
And you're gracious about that?
Yeah.
You know, grateful if those aren't interchangeable.
Grateful for Hate Me. That song Hate Me. Right. It's probably one of the saddest songs I've ever written, but it's so real.
Yeah.
It was so real, and I needed to get that out. And I'm so glad I didn't just go, I'm really sad and I'm sitting here and my girl left me last week. You know, I'm sad today. I'm glad it was like there's cockroaches in my head, leaving babies in my bed, weird stuff like that. But there's something so positive about the music and so uplifting about the music. And it's like when you listen to Peter Gabriel, Don't Give Up with Kate Bush. You ever heard that song?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Come on.
So,
you know,
so incredible. Hits me into my soul.
Because you have friends.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I know it.
I mean, look, I got chills right now. Don't give up because you're not beaten yet. But his whole words are, I'm going to walk out of here. I can't take anymore. Going to stand on that bridge, keep my eyes down below. Whatever may come and whatever may go, bad rivers flowing. Woo! I mean, look at that.
I know. That's
the beauty of music. But then Kate Bush comes in and goes, hey, don't give up. That's the power of music.
Yeah.
You know, and I just love that. But then you look at some of the darkest stuff. I wrote a whole album about my divorce and custody battle.
Right.
I can't even listen to that album anymore.
Yeah.
But I would never not put it out. Right. It was a dark time.
Yeah, and I think there's something. Is it medicinal? I'll say.
Oh yeah.
But it's certainly some. If somebody else is going through that, it helps them move
I can't
through
tell
that.
you how many men have come up to me and gone, that album, oh my God, we're going, you know.
Yeah.
But I can't listen to it. Right. I don't want my daughter to hear it.
Right.
You know. Right. But I was in a dark time and I had to write it, and I think that that's what good art it is. Documentaries made from a dark place.
Yeah.
And then you have your first album that we've released, Sway, after I got sober.
Yeah.
And the song Fear.
Yeah.
Changed my life.
Changed my life.
You know, changed
that
my
song,
life.
When I heard it.
Yeah. I didn't know I could write it. That was my first, I'll tell you this since you're looking for some sort of God still.
Yeah.
That was my first confirmation that there was a God above us, is when I went outside and I said, okay, I just got out of rehab and they've taught me that you're up there. I remember being in Nashville writing with Chris Kipp. Christopher, I'll get you the name. And he writes songs for like all these country huge artists. And
Keith Urbans of the world, yeah.
Yes, that's who he writes for.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, they taught me to share my art with other people and to learn from other people. And And I'm going to go right with this guy. And I was nervous as fuck because I'm sitting here 3 months sober, wearing my keychain around my neck so everybody knows don't offer me a drink or a drug. I'm going in, I'm sitting there, and he goes, so what do you want to write about? And I go, I don't know. I'm just 3 months sober. Blue Miller was his name.
Okay.
Great guy. And he goes, hold on.
Yep.
You gonna shut the door? Yeah. And I remember showing him the music that I had the whole time, and he go, what do you want to write about? I was like, I want to write about, I don't know, let's just talk. And so I remember going outside, smoking a cigarette, and looking up at the sky and saying, if you're up there, like they say you are, and like they told me I had to find you to stay sober, if you're really up there,
Prove it.
prove it. Come down into my life and help me write this song, my first song that I've written sober. I'm not going to have a joint. I'm not going to have a glass of wine. I'm not going to have a meth pipe. I'm going to do this sober. Please. I was scared as fuck. It's the first song. Went back in, and 2 hours later, Fear was written. And I was like, I called my wife in tears going, it's real. It's real. She's like, what's real? It's like, God is real. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not some Bible beater.
Right.
But I know, and I don't have to prove it or make you believe, or I know it's right for me. And every day I say thank you for another day, and every night I say thank you. But Fear was when I knew I can do this, and I can do this really good. So let's keep doing it, you know?
Yeah, I guess there's such a huge thing for me when I probably recognized it before the song for me in my life.
Okay.
When I recognized Fear was helping me make too many decisions in my life.
It's true.
But before that, I was thinking, well, I got to take control. I got to have control. You know, I got to be this
totally.
man and all this kind of stuff until I figured out,
Yeah,
there's this little thing called fear inside me.
it's insecurities and your
jealousy
and fear
and all this. Oh,
yeah, resentments,
gross.
all that stuff.
yeah. So when you put it so simply there, I guess maybe that's what makes it such a fantastic thing that hits somebody in the middle of their chest.
Yeah,
You know.
I was so desperate. I'll just tell you this: I was so desperate to find this higher power when I was in rehab, right?
Yeah.
Because they said I wouldn't stay sober unless I found it,
Yeah.
right? So I was like on day 75 in a halfway house with 12 older men, and I walked outside, and I'll just tell you this short story of it all, but I'm yelling at the sky going, if you're real, come into my life, show me something, and this freaking bee kept flying around me, right? And I kept flying, and I was just sitting there yelling, ignoring this freaking bee the whole time. And I didn't understand it. I was like, maybe I'm just stupid. I see all these people letting him into your life, and is it supposed to be like this warm feeling when it comes into your life? How's it supposed to be? Everybody told me it's going to feel like, like you're floating. And I'm like, you're full of shit. All of you are full of shit. And this bee, meanwhile, is still flying around me, and I'm like, show me something. And I look over at this bee, and this bee is dancing on top of a big bee killer can, right? Like a Raid can, just dancing on it. And it says bee killer on it. And I'm going, what the fuck is wrong with you? But meanwhile, I'm going, just show me something. Show me you're real. And all of a sudden, I see this bee starting to lick the top. Lick the top. And then I go, you know what's crazy, bee? You've seen thousands of your fucking friends die from that shit, but yet you still want to get inside of there. And all of a sudden, it goes, I'm in rehab. I've seen thousands of my friends die from shit, but I still want to use again. And it was like, and this warmth came over me. And I swear to God, it had to be told to me that way. It had to be shown to me that way. So ever since I met that fucking bee, my whole life is that simple, dude. It's that simple. Life is good. And if you meet anybody that's negative, that's fucking your vibe up, pray for them, move the fuck on. That's it. And that's it. And do the next right thing. Even if that means put the toilet seat down after you pee so your wife's perfect ass doesn't fall into it. That's doing the next right thing. And if you do the next right things on the small things,
Right.
big things, I haven't lied to anyone in 6 years and 2 months. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's the only way to live, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to cover your ass, do you?
Yeah, I don't.
No.
And if you don't like me, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm still going to watch Forensic Files at the end of the night and go to bed and be happy.
Right.
I love Forensic Files.
I guess the thing that I learned somewhere down the truth about truth is it does truly set you free. All these cliches are real, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't have to. I don't know. I guess I didn't have to backpedal on something.
You don't have to
Even if it
prove
was
it.
something simple, like I didn't eat that apple.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, why am I covering my ass for an apple?
Yeah. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody.
Yeah, man.
I tell you, once you show people your real self, you'll know who your real friends are.
Yeah. So talk to me about things we don't know about off the same record.
Things we don't know about?
Yeah.
I wrote that that was the first time I really wrote about kids, what they might see, and the things that they don't know about yet. That's why it says, sit up on my lap. Are you ready for bed?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, there's things you don't know about, I like that song.
When I first heard the song from Lenny Kravitz called Let Love Rule, now I think about that. Again, those 3 simple words, right?
Yeah.
If we just let that happen,
It's really simple. It's really simple. Just like you said, if you just let that happen, man,
yeah,
your life's so much easier, bro.
Well, I'm going to stay on the same record if that's okay, cool. Right? With Put It In, is that a song about realizing it's really up to you?
Yeah,
it's really up to you, and if you want
to do it, put your dick in it, dude. Put your balls in it. Don't fucking play just the tip. Put your fucking balls in fucking life and go with it.
I love the line, I never knew my life could be remarkable.
I never knew my life could be remarkable.
Ugh.
No wonder why they play just the tip.
Yeah,
you never heard that one, did you? It's good. It's about just playing with life, just sticking it in and not really fucking it. Sorry for my language.
Yeah, I think that's from scripture somewhere, isn't it?
Is this a Christian-based thing?
Exactly.
Is it?
I don't know.
Okay, good. I'm sitting here talking about fucking life in the ass, and I'm just like, oh my god. Okay, sorry.
Have you done Christian interviews?
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah. They tell me to watch my mouth.
I'm sure they do, but
I've done churches.
Awesome.
They want me to tell my testimony, and it's really nice.
Do you go to church?
Yeah, I go to church with my wife whenever I'm in town.
Yeah. I've stopped going to church because I don't think I'm any closer to God now than I'm sitting in church.
I go to church for meditation and peace.
Yeah, I went to church to help my kids learn about God.
Yeah.
That really helped a lot because I can't explain it. And, and there's some organization part about religion, about God that helps you kind of go, oh, okay, this is how about it. And then I think later on, my kids who are now in their 20s can go out and decide. Yeah. Where's God fit and what is God and all that kind of stuff.
You know what's crazy is when I was in rehab that we didn't have TVs and stuff, so we just had books. And there was a coloring book that someone put next to my bed, and it was called Bible for Kids. And it was the story of the Bible in a coloring book. And that's how I got reintroduced to the Bible, was a freaking coloring book. And then that B. That's how stupid I had made my brain that God had to take it down that level to get me back interested.
Yeah. When you were telling the bee story, I was thinking about how much time I've spent outside. And I grew up in the country and around farms, not on a farm or anything, but I would spend so much time outside alone. And I almost feel like you can get in my way for me to find what life is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
But when it's just you and the bee,
there's
there's nobody else to explain to you what that bee really means.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it hits you because nobody had to explain to you what it meant and really interfere with what it was going to happen when you were screaming out for all the proof in the world, and it turns out there's a bee that was proof.
Because if somebody else would have been there, they would have doubted it, and I would have listened.
Yeah, and they could have taken your mind to a different spot. And who knows? Who knows?
That's the beauty of meditation. That's the beauty of solitude. That's the beauty of finding inner peace. Mm-hmm. That quiet. Like I said, when Gunnar, my son, finally found that peace, he went to sleep. That's how we are as adults. We just got to relearn it again. It's really like that.
Yeah.
Learning how to be with yourself alone with no TV on.
Yeah. Hard candy is about living life messed up and you're kind of sick of yourself.
Yeah. This is good. You're good.
Well, I care. Yeah. I'm searching. Literally.
No, I got you.
I'm this old, right?
Yeah.
And I'm still searching for God. But I remember when my dad was, I'll say, my age-ish, and I would go, well, obviously he has it all together, because he's older. Yeah. And then once he got to his deathbed, which literally, and he couldn't believe, he couldn't find his peace.
Yeah.
So he laid in hospice for like 4, 5, 6 months.
Yeah.
Until finally, I think a hospice nurse kind of allowed him to release, and he just died. I don't know, a couple days or hours later. I was like going, that was so beautiful to me. But he's struggling at the end of his life, and I'm thinking, aren't we supposed to know more as we get further along? And so anyway, those are my struggles, Justin. I don't mean to throw Frank out into
you're so right, though. You're so right. Better to find it now, man, so you can really fully enjoy this life.
I love the search, though. I really do. I love the search of trying to find what it means, and I love the idea that I can find it, and maybe I never will.
Yeah.
But I don't care, because I think God's got me on the path that's I don't have to fight anymore. I don't care if there's a heaven or not. I really don't. Yeah. There was a great thing that a minister said one time to me. He's like, so would you live your life any differently if there was no God? And I went, I don't think I would.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd live it any differently.
Yeah.
I'd still want to treat people like I treat myself, and all that kind of, golden rule stuff, So, I don't know, man. That's this blah, blah, blah. But so talking about Hard Candy, I kind of jumped out.
No, Hard Candy is just that. I mean, it was just a full throttle song about partying.
Yeah. And did you write that after you're sober? Yeah. Then Light You Up, same sort of thing.
Off is a letter to the drug itself. They made us write a letter to our drug of choice and tell it what it did to us. So that was it.
I can't explain the way I feel inside. Maybe it's because I'm through. God, I love that. So the things we do at night.
We do at night is like just a romantic piece, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Instead of destroying yourself at night, it's more like a rocker with peace on it.
Not broken anymore, then?
Yeah, it's from my wife. That was the second song I wrote sober. That was written for my wife after I got sober, just because she came into my life and really challenged me to be a better person, and now I'm who I am because of my wife.
But I can't stop thinking how you keep making sense of all that was broken before.
Yeah.
That's your singing to her that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Because honestly, when I met my wife, I felt like I found God in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's not supposed to be the same, but
no, it's.
But when you find somebody who loves you unconditionally,
yeah,
there's something special that happens. Can I jump to the home record real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
It's 4 or 5 songs in there. I Want It. Don't let the distractions win, and stay focused, and
man,
keep moving.
Yeah, I wrote that one while I was jogging, and I hate jogging, but I made myself go, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Now, what would you say to someone about life that's jogging through life, and they want to give up?
Right.
So I made myself listen to the music while I wrote that, and to all of you in the way, all the negative, spiritually sick people, I push you aside. That kind of stuff.
I loved it earlier when you said that you pray for them and move on, right? Because I love the line, so I raise my hands of grace, pray for the ones I wish I could erase.
Yeah.
'Cause that's a hard thing to do for people, I think. Still hard for me to do, to pray for the people who piss me off or want to push me into a place of unjoy.
Yeah.
Unjoy?
But if you don't, you're letting them.
Yeah. Right.
You're letting them win, bro.
Dude, you're right about that. So tell me about the title track.
Home. I wrote it for my wife. My wife and my kids, because it's really about the simple things. And when I look at my kids and my wife, I was just unbelievable of how much I've changed and how much they made me change, and how just grateful I am just for the simple things like dancing in the kitchen. You know?
Right. For some reason, I wrote on that song it's about feeling blessed. Is that a weird word?
No, it's very blessed. I'm not lucky.
Is it the same thing as grateful? Is it different?
Blessed and grateful, they go hand in hand.
They're the same hand. Okay.
Blessed is true though, because I don't worry about anything else in the whole world. I have no problems in my life. The only problem I have is what might happen to my kids. Yeah. So the only care in the world is that our kids are all right.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I know, man.
That's it.
When I first had my first son, I remember driving home going, I am now responsible for something, and now I love something more than I could possibly love anything.
Yeah.
That I understood anyway at that time.
Yeah.
That drive in the car was gigantic to me.
It's huge.
Oh my gosh. We know where you go?
That's a song written
for
from my brother to me when I was going through active addiction, what he wanted to tell me. And I really love that song because my brother comes up and sings it with me.
Does he?
Yeah. When I was a kid, I liked to climb trees and jump out of them. So he's like, I know you're hiding in the woods where we would sing to us from high up in the trees. And I just want my friend back. It's a very special song. It's probably my top 10 favorite songs.
Really?
Yeah.
How about the Lucky One?
Lucky One I wrote about our bassist's son who has Down syndrome.
Oh.
And it's a song about him and just how beautifully special he is.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's something about, I love the line, you're the rain conductor, the sunset operator. When the sky goes dark, you're the star locator. I don't
know how I wrote that. That's really neat.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that, and I was sober.
Back.
You're the rain conductor. That's a good line.
It's a great line, isn't it? There's something about when somebody can show you light when you couldn't see it, I think. Or like we've been talking, right?
Yeah, and that little boy is such a light.
Yeah.
If he could do anything, he could conduct the rain. He could.
I remember when I had a friend who had
so
it.
Deep.
I had a friend who had a Down's baby, and I remember seeing him out 3 or 4 months later, and I went, "Dude, I'm so sorry." He's like, "I'm not, not one bit." And I felt so small.
That's all good, man.
I felt so small when he said,
but he probably just felt sorry for you. So it's
probably right. But I thought it was something that was bad happened to him because he had Down's baby. He's like, no. And now this kid is probably, I don't know, 18 or 19 years old.
Beautiful.
And he's all around school all the time and just beautiful kid. And it's like, he gives life.
Yeah.
He gives life probably better than anybody else in that school because, and people give him grace.
The smile and hugs and kisses I get from that kid are better than anybody.
Yeah. You're going to find the light. I highlighted that out of the song Break Ground.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it's about fighting your inner demons.
Yeah, it's about yourself. Self-talk. Self-talk with Justin Furstenfeld.
Yes.
You know?
But isn't there something overriding that, too, about you're meant for goodness?
Yeah, it's about self-doubt. You're sitting there doubting, if I could let go, then you could see in your possibilities. But you're letting your damn self get in the way again.
Yeah. How about searching? I'll say you're searching for aliveness in Houston Heights.
Yeah. Houston Heights is... it's the streets where I came from.
Yeah.
And it's just another chance to show that I'm not going to let the negative into my life, you know? But I just came from a more urban hip-hoppy sound because that's all we listened to back then.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Right. How about searching? I'll say you're searching for aliveness in Houston Heights.
Yeah. Houston Heights is... it's the streets where I came from.
Yeah.
And... it's just another chance to show that I'm not going to let the negative into my life, you know? But I just came from a more urban hip-hoppy sound because that's all we listened to back then.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Right. What were you listening to hip-hop wise then? I mean, if you're listening to the Smiths and Peter Gabriel and...
Oh, man, like, I would have to say when I was in high school, I mean...
Was it Public Enemy or...
Public Enemy, Jay-Z,
yeah.
Tupac, Biggie,
yeah.
You know, those kind of things, where it was just, like, so brutal, honest, and raw. It was awesome.
You know what I'm getting from you is, like, when music is good is when it's real.
Yeah.
Right? That's when it's good. That's probably the only time it's good, right?
I love all kinds of music.
Yeah.
But when it came from a place where it was searched for... and then found. It's awesome.
Because I think there was way more realness happening in hip hop back. I don't know now. I don't know. I mean, I love the Lupe Fiascos and stuff like that. And I loved how real I thought that was. But, you know, various things hit realness in me that hit realness in Paul or hit realness in you or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I think there was something happening in the 90s with hip hop that was more raw and more real because it was,
they had something to
connecting.
Say. They had something to say.
That's why it got huge.
They didn't brag so much. I mean, it's huge these days.
Right.
But they didn't brag so much.
Time changes everything. I highlighted the line, extra highlighted it, by the way. If you live like someone's watching you, you'll be the egg that never broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that means if you live like someone's watching you, you'll be the egg that never broke. That means if you act like you do when people are watching you, then that could be your true self. That's how so I'm not going to be a different person when I close the doors at night. I'm still going to be grateful. And
okay. Time changes everything. I highlighted the line, extra highlighted it, by the way. If you live like someone's watching you, you'll be the egg that never broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that means if you live like someone's watching you, you'll be the egg that never broke. That means if you act like you do when people are watching you, then that could be your true self. That's how so I'm not going to be a different person when I close the doors at night. I'm still going to be grateful. And
okay. New record. Here's the lines I love off of Daylight.
Oh.
The first thing out of the box there.
Yeah.
But I guess if you can talk to me about those lyrics.
I wrote that with Matt Noveski. It's just about not letting in things that might have happened to you that did dig in the dirt, and that when you're a kid, some things happen that scar you, and it's just when you're older now and you're at a place where you're just not going to let those run your life or even be a part of your life, then that's what that means.
I just wonder if everybody who I've ever interviewed thinks about the line, I wear a mask in the spotlight, backstage there's a dark room, and all that thing there. I mean,
yeah,
because sometimes you got to put it on to get out there just to do it, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you do it because you want to do it. I mean, I don't know, that's
every night I do it because I want to do it.
I know, but
yeah,
I mean, put on the mask because you had to fight whatever demons you're fighting. But
Yeah, totally.
I want you to come back home about feeling anxious and trying to start anew.
Come Back Home is about. I interviewed a couple people that went overseas and fought for our country. So that one's more about a veteran coming home and going, like, wow, I've seen a lot of things, and that's just from their perspective.
I'll do me, you do you.
Yeah, I wrote that about a good buddy of mine that was going through some relationship problems, and I just noticed he was in some pain. And if you notice, all these songs on this album are about my friends or other people. There's not one song about me. But, it was just showing him that he was special and he was beautiful, and that it kind of giving him a theme song to listen to every morning he got up. You know what I'm saying? A feel-good kind of thing. So he knew that he deserved the best.
So I think I'm beautiful, and I like the way I see when I look in the mirror.
Yeah.
I like what I see.
I like what I see.
Okay, talk to me about I Hope You're Happy.
I wrote that about everybody in the world that I've come in contact with. Exes, people I've worked with, people that don't work for me anymore, anybody that's come into my life. Life's so short to not wish everybody happiness, If you don't wish everybody happiness, you got to seek some self-help.
I just think it's interesting that The Answer was one of the first songs on the first record, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's all about trying to figure out life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right from the get-go.
Right from the get-go.
And then who is this song to? Dirt Room.
My old manager.
Oh.
Yeah, one of my first managers. I was in a dark place. I was angry.
Yeah, well, it's good to get it out. So, dude, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, man.
It was a pleasure meeting you. And
Are you coming to the show?
No.
Why not? No. I'll get you tickets.
I have a life. I appreciate that.
He's like, I have a life. I fucking love you. If you want to come.
Thank you. I appreciate it.